When I turned on my camera, I had a Mountain Dew in the frame, but we like the sound of not getting copyright claimed on these videos that no major company would ever see. So the next book is the fourth Artemis Fowl book. Where there it is. It's the fourth Artemis Fowl book, and it's called the Opal Deception, and is kind of the start of the downfall of this series. Um, I have my Fen again. Say hi.
Oh, hi. That's part of the script, right?
I don't have a script. Um, Opal Deception goes between Dark Communion and Mary Van Amsterdam. Um, Honestly, I might put it. No, it goes. Yeah, it goes there. It's fine. Uh, so Artemis and company, the human ones, they had their memories wiped of the people, and now he's 14 years old and also a criminal. So that's fine. I noticed by the time I got to this book that I spend a lot of time talking about books that have some sort of fairies in them. So that's fun. Um, so, as far as the plot goes, uh, I don't know if anybody remembers Opal. I certainly didn't, but she is.
She's actually pretty hard to forget.
I didn't remember a moment of her.
Just, just the main reason being like,
After this, she's
she,
pretty hard to forget.
the point of the point of a few of these books is Opal throwing the biggest temper tantrum that the LEP has ever seen.
Basically. Um, so Opal's pretending to be catatonic again because like people are really interested in her because like the news wants to talk to her because she's like betrayed her own people, and whatever. Her new plan this time round is to expose the people to the mudmen, which is the humans, and some people come and they get her. I'm pretty sure the entirety of the beginning of this book takes place during the entirety of the third book, because she's not in that one, thank God. And yeah, Artemis out here being Artemis, just stealing shit. He wants to steal a painting. Apparently, Artemis is number one on her hit list, so she wants to get to the painting that he wants to steal first. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, but that never comes back up until the end of the book. He does end up stealing the painting, though, so, um, yeah.
Yeah. Just the only thing is, like, at the end, he literally is like, you know what? Back to the Louvre with you.
Went to the Louvre.
Good times.
Mona Lisa, you're an overrated piece of shit. um, so, um, in Haven City, where the people live, some shit's going wrong. Holly, for some reason, thinks it's Artemis, and Foley's like, nah, bitch, we mind wiped them. Like, I can assure you, he does not know that we exist anymore. But Opal shows up, and she's like, haha, I'm going to blow up. Like, I'm pretty sure that she blew up Commander Root and blame Holly for it. So now Holly has to go on the run. Um, and Root tells her to save Artemis, so Holly leaves, and at this point we jump back to Artemis and find out that his parents are still intent upon him giving up crime. Apparently they think he's on a field trip.
Yeah, a field trip.
The most unobservant parents in the entire fucking world.
Since when was he in school?
He was
Just,
always in school. When his dad was there, he was always in school. But when his dad left in book, or not left, when he disappeared in book one, he took over and just started writing like his own notes, I suppose. And then his mom got her consciousness back, and it was like, oh, all right, I guess I gotta go to school now. And that poor therapist in book two.
yeah, I mean, his mother is literally the key example of, dude, stop fucking with magic.
Also, I think his mom dies at one point, but I suppose we'll get there when we get there. Um,
Probably.
So, like, I don't know how many of y'all remember this, but I certainly remember that in the beginning of the third book, when Butler, gets shot and Holly accidentally adheres Kevlar to his chest, that doesn't just go away with memory wipe. You can't really erase that. So, Butler,
There is literally no medical thing that can say that is just scar tissue.
yeah. So Butler feels older and his chest like feels weird, but he doesn't know what it is. Apparently they also have like contact lenses in their eyes that prevent some sort of like weird hypnosis thing that fairies can do. So yeah. Um Opal attacks them and she's very monologue-y cuz you got to catch them monologuing. Um
Also, don't forget Italians.
Italians.
Yeah. She was. So the main reason she was able to interact with the human people was through some famous, like, I think it was a rich Italian dude, and he's like, "Oh wait, who the hell are you?" She's like, "No, I'm your daughter," using her weird fairy magic.
Oh
And
yeah,
then he's
that.
like, "Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's send a probe down there and find out what the hell's down there."
I guess. But so Holly gets Artemis out of there. She leaves Butler because Butler can handle himself because it's fine. And she like talks to Artemis and like tells him everything that went on and he is remarkably calm. But of course Artemis has something that will trigger his memory because he can't be caught out here slipping. But what's also funny is that because Artemis's mom is back in his life and stuff like that, he kind of has a conscience now. So at one point he apologizes to Holly for everything that he did, and he's just kind of like, "Wow, I was a dick." um, but like I said with that first book, what's fun about it is that Artemis has no ulterior motive. He wants some gold, and that's it. Fuck it. um,
Gold is power.
well, in all fairness, his dad did squander their entire fortune. So
Yeah, just
what's
quoting their coat of arms.
but
That was
also but also what's hysterical as well is that when he before he gets his memory back, when he agrees to help Holly, he's like, "Oh, I'll take gold for it," and she's just like, "Really?" um,
I mean, they literally brainwashed him to the point where before he met the fairy, so of course he'd be just like, criminal mastermind Irish 14-year-old.
yeah, I didn't. I don't remember a lot of the middle of this book. It's just Opal making a mess of things. There's Mulch and Butler. They meet up. Apparently, Opal, to turn herself like literally human, she injected herself with human growth hormone. I don't think that's how that works, but whatever. Um, yeah. At one point, Artemis gives up on the gold because he's like, I'm kind of a shitty person. And he also thinks that all this is a hallucination, but then he finds the message that his 13-year-old self in book 3 left for his 14-year-old self in this book. So he remembers all of the things. And
Yeah.
they go to like defeat Belinda. I don't remember what happens. This is my least favorite book of the 4 that I've read thus far. They go to attack Opal, and she escapes. She's like injured or some shit, and she changes her name to Belinda, and becomes like someone's daughter, someone's like pampered daughter, because Opal can't lift a finger to do any work, God forbid. Um, Artemis returns the painting that he got at the beginning of the book, and yeah, so that's fun. What do you think of this book?
Uh, well, the first thing I thought was, after my first read through of the series, especially back in like middle school, I, the first thing that came across my mind is, of course, the Artemis who dealt with the fairies would have left a message for Artemis whose mind was wiped.
Of course he does.
And also, of course, it's probably going to happen again.
Like, Artemis he's just really fucking smart. He would probably, like, if Artemis had been Voldemort, Harry wouldn't have stood a chance.
I can tell you something, that baby would not have left that room.
If Artemis had been Voldemort, he would have sent some Death Eaters to do it like he should have. But whatever, this is not the video to talk about how stupid I think Voldemort is. We'll talk about that later. But, yeah. I like that they have traces of their memories, even though they're wiped, because, Butler has a Kevlar bulletproof vest adhered to his skin. I don't like Opal. I think she's superficial, and I think she has a shallow motive. And I guess that's more of a character thing rather than like a plot thing. But I don't. She feels like a bad child who just didn't get what she
She
wanted.
she kind of so Opal reminded me of what's her face from the Powerpuff Girls, who was like, "Oh, I can't be a Powerpuff Girls. I don't have powers, so I'm just gonna buy stuff to give me
Princess,
powers." Princess, yeah,
Princess Moneybanks. I'm pretty sure her name is.
Moneybags. I love it.
Yeah, that was the point. She was the absolute fucking worst. But also, I think maybe I'm just misremembering because I was a religious watcher of Powerpuff Girls. But maybe I'm just misremembering, but I think like when it came down to it, Princess came through. Like
Yeah,
she came
I
in
think
clutch.
I think at least once Princess was like, "Fuck it, yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna save him."
at like once at least. Um so yeah, that's that book. We have one, two, three, four left on the good book list, and one, two, three, four, five left on the wouldn't read again list. And I'm out here struggling, but
Just getting through.
I've got one more book, and then I get to talk about a book that's about Hispanic culture, which makes me so happy because I know nothing about Hispanic culture, but this book gave me so much fucking life. Um, yeah. I mean, you can subscribe if you want to.